Money isn't the problem. Time is. Money rarely feels like the real source of pressure anymore. Time is what quietly makes everything feel tight. Financial anxiety does not always begin with a lack of money. It often begins after stability is already in place. There is a steady income and a predictable routine. Life looks organized and responsible from the outside. Bills are paid without urgency or panic. Obligations are handled on time. Nothing appears broken or out of control. There is no visible crisis demanding attention. Yet the tension never fully leaves. It stays present in the background. It does not spike or disappear. It does not feel dramatic or explosive. It feels quiet, constant, and internal. Like life is slightly compressed. Like there is never enough space between moments. The alarm rings before your body feels finished resting. You wake up already aware of time passing. The phone is reached for before awareness settles. Notifications appear immediately. A calendar reminder claims attention without asking. The day begins already scheduled. Morning moves through the kitchen automatically. Coffee brews while emails already wait. Breakfast feels functional rather than intentional. The kitchen clock feels louder than it should. Time already feels allocated. The commute begins without conscious decision. The same street appears again. Traffic lights regulate both movement and thought. Trains arrive whether you feel ready or not. Familiar faces share the same quiet urgency. No one speaks, but everyone seems internally rushed. An office building waits with predictable hours. Doors open into routine without resistance. A desk greets you exactly as you left it. The screen lights up with tasks already assigned. Meetings occupy blocks of time without negotiation. Conversations are efficient, brief, and impersonal. Lunch happens quickly, often at the desk. It feels like maintenance rather than rest. Paperwork accumulates quietly at the edge of attention. The afternoon accelerates unexpectedly. Deadlines pull focus forward continuously. Late evening arrives with unresolved mental noise. You step outside into a quiet street. The city feels slower than your thoughts. At home, the kitchen table waits silently. An empty room absorbs the leftover tension of the day. Tomorrow already feels close. The thought appears during an ordinary moment. It does not arrive dramatically. It arrives quietly and without warning. Why does time feel so limited now? Why does the day disappear so easily? Money covers expenses, but not pressure. The budget looks stable, but the calendar feels crowded. Free time feels scheduled rather than free. Rest feels planned instead of natural. Even calm moments feel timed. You notice how quickly weeks collapse. Monday becomes Friday without memory of the middle. A month passes marked only by obligations completed. You earn enough, but never feel ahead. Ahead of responsibilities. Ahead of expectations. Ahead of time itself. Vacations feel shorter than they used to. Recovery takes longer than expected. Energy no longer resets overnight. You remember when time felt wider. Not easier, just more forgiving. Mistakes once felt temporary. Now they feel permanent. The pressure is not panic. It is constant awareness. Awareness that life feels pre-booked. Awareness that flexibility is shrinking. Awareness that time is no longer generous. Money and time behave very differently. Money can increase, decrease, and recover. Time only moves forward. Early in life, time feels expandable. There is room to experiment and recover. Starting over feels possible. Later in life, time becomes structured. Every hour already belongs somewhere. Work claims predictable portions of the day. Family needs anchor, specific windows. Maintenance fills the remaining gaps. Stability replaces uncertainty with routine. Routine slowly replaces flexibility with repetition. Repetition reduces perceived options. Fewer options create pressure. Pressure builds quietly over years. Limits become visible rather than abstract. Limits shaped by responsibility. Limits shaped by energy. Limits shaped by obligation. This is when money stops feeling like freedom. Money becomes a way to manage time. Time becomes the true cost of everything. Every commitment consumes future space. Every decision carries temporal weight. The anxiety is not about income. It is about how much life is already allocated. You begin to hesitate more than you used to. Decisions take longer to finalize. Risk feels heavier than reward. Change feels expensive. Starting over sounds exhausting, not because of fear, because of cost. The cost of time and energy. You calculate consequences before imagining possibilities. Long-term planning feels urgent but restrictive. The calendar looks shorter each year. Energy requires more recovery than before. Even weekends feel compressed. Spontaneity feels irresponsible. Responsibility becomes the default setting. Responsibility slowly becomes identity. Identity becomes something to protect. You protect the structure you depend on. Even when the structure limits you, comfort begins to resemble containment. Security feels conditional. Conditional on health staying stable. Conditional on work continuing uninterrupted. Conditional on systems not breaking. One disruption feels capable of collapsing balance. This is not irrational fear. This is awareness arriving late. You notice how carefully everything is planned. Planning feels necessary, not optional. Rest is scheduled. Meals are scheduled. Weekends are scheduled. Even joy is scheduled. Spontaneous moments feel rare. When they appear, they feel fragile. You protect them cautiously. Time feels like something to defend. You say no more often, not because you want to, because you cannot afford the time. Efficiency replaces curiosity. Curiosity feels expensive. Life becomes optimized for endurance. Endurance replaces exploration. Exploration once felt natural. Now it feels disruptive. The structure keeps you safe. The same structure keeps you contained. Your relationship with money changes quietly. Money feels less exciting and more defensive. It becomes about buffering time, about protecting against disruption, about maintaining the system. Saving feels prudent, not hopeful. Spending feels calculated, not joyful. Purchases are weighed against future time. Time away from work. Time away from obligation. Time needed for recovery. Money delays pressure. It does not remove it. Goals quietly become smaller. Not because ambition disappeared, because time became expensive. You realize how often you postpone yourself. Not dramatically, quietly and repeatedly. You postpone rest. You postpone reflection. You postpone change. You tell yourself later will be better. Later feels safer than now, but later keeps moving closer. The calendar keeps filling. The space never opens. You wait for a moment that never arrives. The moment with enough time. The moment with enough energy. The moment with fewer consequences. That moment rarely appears on its own. Feeling pressured does not mean money failed you. It means time became visible. Visible as limited. Visible as structured. Visible as expensive. No one prepares you for that shift. Especially when everything looks successful. Especially when you followed the script exactly.